Welcome back to the Curvaceous Bounty of Sin City, broadcasting live from well-rounded BBW 2014. And we have with us Patrick, a fresh face at the bash. This is your first bash, I understand?
Absolutely, sure.
First bash ever or first bash in Vegas?
First bash ever. I've attended local BBW parties, only lasting for about a day, maybe 2 days in the Detroit area.
You're from the Detroit area. Guess
I
what?
sure
Warren, 10 Mile Van Dyke.
Hey, Livonia.
Hey, baby. There we go. Homeboy.
Yeah, hey, Detroit, bankrupt.
The D is in the house.
What?
The D is in the house.
You
And I'm
brought
not-
your D with you?
Well, I'm not specifically referring to my D, but my D is in fact in the house as well. But I am representing the
So
proverbial D.
technically, all D's are in the house.
As far as I know, yes.
Right. Okay.
Alrighty then. So what brought you to the bash? Because it's not like you just wake up one morning and go, hey, is there a week-long party full of fat people I can go to?
Actually, it's funny you ask because last year I was fortunate enough, I can say now, to have ended a troubled relationship, and I found myself single for the first time in about 16 years.
Wow.
And,
Wow.
Yeah, and living
Do
as
you,
a...
do you realize you don't look old enough to have been in a relationship for 16 years?
You're right,
Unless
Doc.
you started it when you were 4.
Well, it was actually 2 concurrent, like 7-year relationships without a break in between.
Doesn't matter. You still don't look old enough to have been in any sort of 16-year stretch of dating period.
I know, right? I am 32. Can you believe that?
So you've been monogamously with someone since you were 16.
Monogamous.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
I was a serial, monogamy kind of guy, and
Until he came to the bash.
Until I came to the bash, and now my eyes have been open to the possibility of being okay with myself as a single person.
Good for you.
And thank you. And I truly believe that there's 2 different types of people when it comes to relationships. You've got people that need to be in a relationship versus those that want to be in a relationship. And
This is a smart man, you guys.
well, thank you very
He's
much.
talking good stuff over here.
That's
I
good.
do try my best.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that you realize that before you can be in a successful, healthy relationship with someone else, you have to have a healthy relationship with yourself.
Yep.
And in that spirit, I knew that I needed to discover that I had value. And living as a large male my entire life, I'm now rocking about 350 pounds, which, as you can imagine, growing up, can put a big burden on your self-esteem. And I'm actually a physician, and being a obese physician in today's world, you can imagine that is quite ironic that I have to tell patients,
You know what?
lose weight.
Here's the thing. I would rather have a fat doctor tell me to lose weight than a doctor who smells like cigarettes to tell me stop smoking.
I completely agree with you, and I've had the conversation where I will actually preface it by saying, and I know from experience, and then I can actually say something that has value as opposed
Because
to
it's
me.
not an easy thing to do is lose
Absolutely
weight.
not.
No,
No,
exactly. And somebody once told me, look, it took you 40 years to get that size. You're not going
Absolutely.
to change that in, 10 days.
Right,
Yeah.
absolutely. And, I like to think that I have a different perspective on being in the BBW community because I am a big guy, and this is not
You're what we call a BHM.
a big handsome male.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Make it a BAM because you're adorable.
Oh, thank you.
We could just call you a CWB.
CWB.
Chubby white boy.
Hey. Okay. Yes, I timed that very well. Thank you for
Oh, that is fabulous.
I do my best. And I have to say, like, when I first started attending BBW events local to Detroit, I found myself sitting in the corner because I was looking at a bunch of, relatively fit men who were admirers of BBWs, and I felt that I was still an outsider. I still felt that the fit men would be acquiring these women's attention, and I would still be left marginalized. But
Well,
what
sure, if you're going to sit in the corner.
Absolutely, that's what I discovered. I discovered that being in the BBW community does not exclusively say it's acceptance of large females. It's acceptance of large people in general.
That's right.
Like, really, that's what I've come to discover, is that I've been accepted in such a powerful way in the last year that it has completely changed my outlook on life.
So how many blowjobs have you had in this week?
This week, I don't kiss and tell.
Damn it!
I know.
We didn't
like,
ask who you've kissed.
Yeah, we didn't say who, we just said how many.
how many? I seem to have suddenly forgotten in the aftermath of imbibing.
You
a
know
couple Long
why?
Island
Because
iced teas.
he is such a handsome man that they've got to be dripping off you, Patrick.
I wouldn't say that. However, I have received a couple spontaneous compliments that I have to say are completely new to me, and I have never had that experience.
What kind of compliment can you tell us?
This girl walk up to you
Absolutely.
going, "Damn, you fine boy."
Damn, I have my own room.
Actually, a derivation of that, I did have a couple people just come up and say, "We have decided that you are sexy," and I got to tell you, in my experience, that does not happen to me. And there's something very important about hearing that. We all have the need as humans to feel sexually attractive. It's a natural thing. It's part of
Right.
evolution. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
there
it's
really
true.
It
Yeah,
You
absolutely
are a
is.
very handsome
Oh,
man.
there
you
is
so
nothing
much.
like someone coming up to you going, "You turn me on," and
Uh-huh.
I must touch
Absolutely.
myself now because of you.
Absolutely. And I think that
Oh, wait,
everyone
who
needs
have
to
you
hear
been
that.
walking by?
My boyfriend.
Well, there you go. He better be saying that.
Oh yeah, as often as he can.
Unless he wants to be sleeping on the sofa, I hope he's saying that at least every day.
So, you'll be back next year?
I absolutely will.
What's been your favorite part of the bash?
Honestly, my favorite part of the bash, I have to say, is the welcoming reception I had from total strangers, because I wasn't planning on coming here by myself. My best friend was supposed to accompany me because I am a shy person, and his girlfriend pretty much put the kibosh on that, which left me with one decision. Do I go alone, take the leap of faith, or do I succumb to the fears that have haunted me for my entire life? And what I said is, no, not this time.
Aren't
This
you
time I'm
glad
gonna
you
go.
stepped out?
I am so glad. This has
Good.
been
He'd have
life-changing.
just been a drag on you. Been the worst wingman ever.
I really think I would have had to like fold him up, put him in my suitcase, and just like leave him there, because I have been forced in a way, in a very good way, to expand my horizons, to go out there and make connections. And these connections, I got to say, in the last week have been profoundly shaping my self-esteem and my self-image. I'm going to take this experience back home, share it with my friends who have never been to such an event, and I plan on populating this place with representatives from the D, from my
From
home
the
groups.
D, you go.
Hell
You
yes.
go.
Yes.
The D party room next
The
year. We are
D.
there.
I'm there because
Oh,
I'm a D girl.
abso-freaking-lutely.
I'm a D girl.
Nice. And so you know we're going to be
I went to
representing
school
next
in
year.
I don't
Ypsilanti.
even
I went to
know.
EMU. I went to EMU.
Oh, sweet.
like,
Okay.
I don't even
I listen
where-
to Uncle
know,
Cracker.
Nice.
I don't even know where to find Detroit on a map. However,
Mm.
I would still like to come into the
Honey,
party.
you
Tox,
find Las
Tox.
Vegas
It's
on a
right
map.
here.
Yep. Find the hand,
It's right
and
there.
then find the lower right-hand corner.
Right there. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't
Mm-hmm.
that funny? That's what we always do. Right there.
I'm right here.
I'm right here too.
Yeah.
Aw.
And I have to say, I am so incredibly grateful for the experience. I'm grateful to Bree. I'm grateful to everyone. Thank you, wonderful ladies, for giving me this chance to express my sincere thanks for this event even existing. And I've always said that, in a way, I actually regret that such a thing is needed as the BBW community, because you'd like to think that we don't have to feel marginalized and the need to congregate outside of society at large. That being said, I am so grateful for its existence that I truly think that it has saved me in the aftermath of last year. And I will be back next year. This has been an amazing week. Thank you all so much.
Yay,
Wow,
thanks for
Sincerely.
coming.
Patrick, you need to do a commercial for the bash.
Gonna make me a little
Hey.
like clown.
I know. You know what? Because yeah, we love when like the community in general like embraces people and change. We have a few people that we know here locally in Vegas that have said that we've changed their lives and make them feel comfortable with themselves, and God, we love to hear that. So
Yeah, absolutely. I wish that this had happened to me years ago, but you know what? It's never too late
no,
to accept yourself.
You know what? And this may be the right time for you. This is when it was supposed
it
to
is.
happen.
Yeah,
I
and you're
absolutely
still
think so.
young, so
Thank you so
You're
much for saying
practically
that.
Doogie Howser. Like if
I've been
Doogie
told that.
Howser.
I wouldn't believe you were a full-on MD. You just
Oh,
look
yeah.
way too young.
Do you
Okay.
promote
Thank you.
healthy at any size in your practice? Because we talk
do.
about that a lot on our show.
Well, you know, it's actually interesting. I'm a psychiatrist, and I
Okay.
work with kids, and I have dealt with a lot of self-esteem issues in the adolescent population, and I cannot tell you how often I've been tempted to say to some of my later adolescents, listen, there's a community out there that will accept you, but I can't say that. But I hope to God that these men and women, these young men and women, find a support system of whatever kind, whether it's the community or people at home that are accepting of them, but to see the look of marginalization and being ostracized, I know what that feels like because I've been there at that age. And when I sit across the desk from them, I think to myself, it'll be okay. trust it. It'll be okay.
Can I ask
Okay,
a question? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sierra.
Okay, so you can't tell them about the community. That blows my mind that you can't do that. There are, at least in Vegas, there are a lot of very family-oriented BBW communities where you do family events, you go on picnics, go to the movies, bowling, whatever. It's like a big family thing. You bring your kids, your husband, wife, whatever. Could you suggest something like that to the parents of these kids and be like, look, you need to take them to see where people are comfortable with their bodies and with themselves and their families who love them as well.
I would love to see something like that emerge in my area specifically.
Maybe you could do
And
it.
I've thought about it. I really have, because I have that unique background of living as a large person. I refer to myself as a person of size.
Right.
Is how I describe it to people, and that's how I've identified myself since about second grade. That's when I started gaining my weight, and it was a number of things that led to it. But you know what? I have come to identify myself first as a big person, and then secondarily as everything else, whether it's, male, Caucasian, whatever. And because that is so ingrained in me as my identity, it guides the way I view the world.
Let me ask you a question about the whole kid thing.
Sure.
I was lucky because I was a big girl all my life, growing up, big kid, big guy. But my family was my dad was like, you can do whatever you want to do and be whatever you want to be. Do you find in your practice that some of these kids that have these self-esteem issues, it's because some of the things their parents are saying or
Absolutely.
their parents are telling them about themselves? And that's what I think is really sad, is when you're not supported at home.
Oh, absolutely. And I got to say that the prejudice against people of size does not even just stop with people who are clinically obese. That stops even as far as the anorexic who is starving herself for fear of becoming a large person. I have
She
seen...
gets bashed on for being too skinny.
Absolutely. So if you talk about size acceptance, it's every person of any size, whether you are underweight, normal weight, or overweight, that it
Right.
shouldn't matter, that we're all human beings, and that there are people that will accept us for who we are, starting with the person in the mirror.
I want to be your friend on Facebook.
Mine
You
too.
can
Me
add
too.
me. All three of you can add me. I would be grateful to have you on there.
I need a pen.
We'd like you to come back so we could just all hang out.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
love that, and I'm
Come
in
on.
fact going to plan on it. 1 metric year from now.
1 metric year from now.
Yes, that's one of my bits. I like to make my kids laugh. I like to educate. I like to make them smile, and I like to make them know that it's okay to seek help, because you know what? Sometimes help is not available at home. It's a shame. Sometimes help is not available in the school. That's a shame too. And so I'm a big advocate for mental health, obviously, and specifically for kids that are having issues of self-esteem, of self-doubt and self-image. And if I can take this experience that I've had this week home with me and incorporate elements of it into my practice, I can at least make a difference in a few lives. And you know what? That's a few lives that otherwise would have gone unchanged.
Awesome for Patrick trying to make a difference, because that's what we try to do.
Oh,
We try
thank
to
you all
make
so
a
much.
difference,
And you do.
You're wonderful. I love him. Can you just stay and be my teddy bear?
I would love to.
All right, let's do it.
I think it's a good way of living. Actually,
Pinky promise
Pinky
right
promise.
here. Pinky promise.
you know, it's funny you mentioned teddy bear. Back home in my local BBW community, I'm known as the panda, because I'm just so darn cute and cuddly and quite furry, actually.
It's Panda Patrick. Oh.
I really kind of am.
Aw.
Thank you so much. I
Oh,
would
thank
not
you.
have met you, because the bash is so big. You don't
Mm.
always meet everybody unless you sat down with us, and I'm so
Absolutely.
you are a highlight of my bash today.
Thank you
this week.
so much.
You
This
really
has
are.
been an amazing opportunity. I thank all three of you individually and collectively.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
thank you all.
Well, don't run away.
Okay.
We'll be right back. We're going to go find someone else to harass. Stay tuned.